Archives of Prasar Bharati presents the timeless treasure of golden era.
In the early morning hours, well before sunrise, or in the evenings after the sun has set, a flame, visible from afar, burns brightly over the Dankuni Coal Complex as a symbol of faith and hope. The complex, which was commissioned towards the end of May this year, has already drawn attention from all quarters. As Calcutta, the historic city, celebrates its tercentenary, piped gas from the Dankuni Coal Complex comes as a blessing to the city in its struggle against the menace of pollution. During the mid-1970s, the sudden rise of petroleum prices prompted the Fuel Policy Committee of the Government of India to seriously consider remedial action. It recommended the setting up of a number of low-temperature carbonisation plants, popularly known as LTC plants, in the country to replace petroleum-based fuel oil and to ensure proper utilisation of coal. The West Bengal government took the initiative in 1975 and embarked upon an LTC plant at Dankuni. However, the Government of India later decided that such plants should be implemented by Coal India. The Heavy Engineering Corporation of Ranchi had been awarded the turnkey execution of the project, and the original schedule stipulated completion by September 1984. But various factors, both avoidable and unavoidable, bogged down progress, and in the process there was considerable cost escalation, rising from an estimated cost of rupees 49 crore to current expenditure to date being rupees 117 crores. It has been a long wait, but one can legitimately look forward to saying, all's well that ends well. Piped gas is not a stranger to the city. As long ago as in 1853, Calcutta had enjoyed piped gas facilities for domestic, commercial and industrial purposes. The Oriental Gas Company at its Raj Bazar site used to manufacture and distribute piped gas for the city in those days. Now basically a sort of junk house, it is unbelievable to many that it once used to cater to the needs of 17,000 consumers. In the course of time, due to erratic supply, the clientele came down to 5,000. Now the consumers of Calcutta are expected to have an assured supply. And the gas too is altogether different from the earlier piped gas, produced as it is by a low-temperature carbonisation plant at the Dankuni works of Coal India Limited, 25 kilometers from the city. To produce gas, coke, chemicals and other products, daily about 2,000 tons of coal will be received in wagons. The coal from the wagons goes first to the coal bunkers. Here, the odd-sized pieces of coal are removed for the sake of homogeneity. The coal next goes to the crushing center through the conveyor belt. The control room of the materials handling plant monitors the activities. A smaller fraction of coal is being utilized in the producer gas plant to generate and produce gas which will be used for external heating of the retorts. And the higher fraction of coal will be fed to continuous vertical retorts to produce gas, coke, tar and so on. Producer gas is burnt in the flues of the retorts to an average temperature of about 1200 degrees centigrade to 1300 degrees centigrade. Coal is charged from the top. The processed coke is taken out continuously from the bottom of the retort after in situ quenching with steam and a restricted quantity of water. The coke thus produced is screened to various fractions for ultimate disposal by road and has a very good market. Has Coal India considered the course of diversification, for example in this complex? Dr. M.P. Narayanan, the chairman, Coal India Limited, answers the question.
Well, apart from the fact that really we wanted to diversify and have many more such plants, the main reason is pollution control. I think the viewers would be interested to know that based on a survey conducted in the year 1975-76 by the National Environmental Engineering Research Institute, NAGPO, around 650 tons of pollutants are being put into the Calcutta atmosphere. And 28% of that was carbon monoxide, around 45% of that is suspended particles. Now there was a need to improve this type of an environment, and one recommendation of the Planning Commission subgroup was that why don't we supply the city with gas and smokeless fuel. That is how they sanctioned this project. And when we started this project, and I firmly believe that the use of gas and use of CIL Coke, as we call the smokeless fuel from Dankuni, would considerably help the overall atmosphere environment of Calcutta and reduce to a great extent the effects of the pollution due to burning of the coal directly. Apart from Dankuni, based on the success of Dankuni, perhaps we may even have plants at Kanpur, we may have plants at other places. So a lot would depend on the success of this Dankuni plant.
The fuel gas generated out of devolatilization of coal in the retorts is treated first in primary coolers. Simultaneously, monitoring is carried on in the control room. After the primary coolers, the treatment process is continued in exhausters, ammonia absorbers, naphthalene washers, and hydrogen sulfide removal units to remove tar, liquor, ammonia, naphthalenes, and other impurities. The total manpower employed by the Dankuni complex is about 600 people, and this is expected to cross 700 in the near future. Considerable contractual labor is also employed on the project. After treatment for impurities, the purified gas is collected in a 30,000 cubic meter capacity gas holder. The piped gas is subsequently compressed by gas compressors. There are 3 gas compressors, but at present only 2 are operating. Of the 2, 1 is kept on standby. Here we have the opportunity to witness the charging of the second gas compressor. The compressors compress the gas to a maximum pressure of 18 kilograms. It is then dehydrated by way of refrigeration. The calorific value and the quantity of gas flow is constantly monitored in the high technology advanced equipment housed in the control room. Chemists also play an important role here. After dehydration, the gas is fed to the Durgapur Calcutta gas grid through the Dankuni site. The gas distribution network, with aggregate length of about 1,000 kilometers of distribution mains, will handle about 30 million cubic feet per day of gas. A path-breaking project of this kind is bound to have somewhat of an uphill task before it, and senior officials put these in perspective.
You see, this is a new technology, first of its kind in India. It is on foreign technical know-how, and it has been working in many parts of the world. So it is entirely depending on the success of the technology, the working of the sophisticated equipments imported from abroad, and also various other factors which I don't want to dilate. But I feel that in such a plant, for some time, a few months or 2 months, there may be some teething problems. And after these are all overcome, definitely I believe there should be sustenance of supply. The technology is good, as I know.
The capacity of this Dankuni plant is such that it can go up to 18 million cubic meters or even more of gas supply daily. Therefore, there will be enough scope for supply not only to domestic consumers, but also to industrial consumers. At present, we are starting with a low level of 500,000, 1 million cubic meters in the beginning. And as demand grows, with the assurance of supply that the customers will see demand is bound to grow. In the meantime, Also some industrial consumers will be fixed up, and as demand grows in this manner, we'll be able to absorb more and more supply from DPL.
The Dankuni complex is also expected to encourage the use of coal as basic raw material for the manufacture of organic chemicals. This would be a national milestone in the processing of coal tar, which leads to the recovery of chemicals that can be used in the manufacture of a host of industrial products. But to achieve this dream, continuous industrial amity is an important factor. And in this area, this baby complex has already faced a few problems.
The definition of industrial amity, that causes a debate. Mostly where there is an industrial unrest, this is due to the faulty and more often than not the anti-working class policy pursued by the employers. But this Dankuni Coal Complex, being a public undertaking, I hope that it will not pursue such policy. And if the management, if the authority, the employers, they can bring the workers to participate in the decision-making process, then the problem will not be there. And one thing you know, the central government is coming up with a bill, and it will be enacted soon, that workers' participation in management. After that, such problems, at least serious problems, will not arise in Dankuni Coal Complex, I hope.
The complex has already built a township for its employees. But of course, more houses still have to be built to cater to the needs of all the employees. The most important road link between the plant and the township is in a bad shape. Though the construction work has started, the progress is very slow, allege the Coal India officials. The tar produced by the project will be processed daily in the tar processing plant. The complex will produce a wide spectrum of coal chemicals considered as valuable raw materials for a variety of small-scale industries. The Dankuni Works has adopted modern technologies to remove pollutants from the liquid effluents generated during the carbonisation of coal. This section comprises of solvent recovery of phenols from ammoniacal liquor and treatment of the effluent in the biological treatment plant before discharging the effluent into the nearby Dankuni Canal. Intermittent power supply interruptions sometimes result in tripping of critical equipment. Moreover, at present, as there is no taker for the entire production of gas produced at the Dankuni complex, it has to burn a large quantity of gas daily. Whether this wastage and the other factors might ultimately lead to enhancement in the price of gas is a question that needs to be seriously considered.
Of course it will go up. There is escalation. There's escalation all around. The point I would make is that it will still remain competitive. As a matter of fact, I know very well that we'll have to compete with LPG. And it has been agreed in the course of a meeting with the Chief Secretary that after 6 months of the commencement of the supply, there shall be a review of the price. And the price of 8.5 per thumb would apply only for 1 year. That will be a promotional year to encourage particularly the industries to opt for gas.
So long as the price of domestic Dankuni gas remains cheaper than the price of LPG gas, and so long as the price of this gas given to industrial consumers is cheaper than the energy from furnace oil or from thermal electricity, there will be no problem. Therefore, as the price of everything goes up in the economy and as the price of electric power, of furnace oil power, of LPG goes up, this price can also go up.
Today we have got domestic consumers about 5,000. In another 5 years' time, we feel that domestic consumer will be increased above 16,000, but it may be limited to within 20,000. And out of 30 million cubic feet of gas, we think that we cannot supply more than 10% to the domestic consumers. It means 90% of gas we shall supply to the industrial consumers to make Calcutta free of pollution.
Meanwhile, the pipes for supplying the gas are almost completed in Calcutta. But some work is still going on in the area of provision of new connections. Recently, the Oriental Gas Company had a rebirth. It has been renamed and expanded as the Greater Calcutta Gas Supply Corporation, a fully owned undertaking of the West Bengal government, which will distribute town gas to domestic as well as industrial consumers. Here, gas meters are repaired and tested. Meters from abroad will arrive soon. Today, piped gas has started flowing to domestic users. Though their number, of course, is not yet very high, industrial units too, both small and medium-sized, have started using this gas. But the success of the Dankuni complex may result in the coming up of many more such units in the country in the coming days, ensuring safer, clean, stable, piped gas and a number of useful byproducts. Gone are the days of gas-based streetlights, which evoke nostalgic memories of a bygone age. By ensuring the success of ambitious multipurpose projects such as Dankuni, we can use the modern incarnation of gas to help achieve the objective of guaranteeing pollution-free cities for our younger generations.